Hello race fans, and welcome back here at Daytona International Speedway for the first of two duels. This is Duel 1 of the Gatorade Duels here at Daytona to determine the field for the Daytona 500. Now on the front row we have Chris Darlington and Dougie Shears. Now Chris Darlington, he is indeed on the pole for the Daytona 500, but that depends if he survives here. Now, if he wrecks out or has to go to a backup car, it's gonna be every man for himself in this. Where you finish determines where you're gonna start up for the 500. The first duel is gonna determine the inside row, and the second duel, which will take place a little bit later, will determine the outside row. Same goes for whoever is going to be on the pole for duel number 2. No matter where you finish, as long as you don't DNF out, you will start either first or second for the Daytona 500. Now starting in third, we have our winner from the Budweiser Shootout, P2 London, out of RCR. Now we're gonna have to check and see if he has any RCR teammates to help him in this field, and I do see one back there. That's Kyle Matthews in the 31. I don't know what's gonna happen here. I believe the 07 is in duel number 2. Well, that's enough talking about it, as we're about to have those famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
Alright boys, just like we talked about in the meeting, what's going to pay off for us today is patience and consistency. Good smooth racing on the racetrack, and that's what will take us up to the front. We'll be there at the end of this thing.
And as the cars are rolling off pit road, here's your starting lineup for the first Gatorade Duel. Both duels will consist of 20 laps, but no drivers will have to take pit stops, so it's going to be non-stop action. We will not have pit strategy as a factor in this race. Jessica Shelton in the number 4, she's going to start mid-pack. Let's hope she doesn't start another first turn wreck like she did in the Budweiser Shootout LCQ. And if you notice something else, all the drivers out of Everham Motorsports are here. Dylan Poteet, James McLeod, Danny Wells, and Tim Fiegel. So all the Everham boys are in here. And there's a Joshua Mudd in the 48. Him and Chris Dalton are the only 2 representatives out of Hendrick in this. As the green flag is out here at Daytona. Chris Darlington already leading Dougie Shears to an early advantage as they're going 3 wide for third. Well, they were. Danny Wells, he just pushed P2 London and Zack Hamlin out of the way. Zack Hamlin, he got forced on the high side in that 56 car. His teammate Matt Corcoran, he's deep on the inside as they're just forming a small train now. Once again, they just went 3 wide for second. Now Sean Galligan, he's being pushed by Jessica Shelton. Trying to challenge for the leaders. Dougie Shears believing the first lap is going to be Chris Darlington in the 24. Chris Darlington may have to try to get some help from his teammate as we're about to have another battle for the lead. Sean Galligan, he just took it. He's being pushed by Trent Dunham and William Duncan now in the 6 car. But these guys better not be driving too hard as William Duncan now he's about to make it 3 wide for the lead. And he's being pushed by Matt Corcoran. Matt Corcoran and Kyle Matthews in 31. And oh man, the 4-wide back there, and we got a wreck! Oh boy, we got a wreck! Oh man, that did not take long at all. As the caution is out. Chris Dalton may have some damage, but William Duncan will lead them back to the line. Second place was Matt Corcoran, third Kyle Matthews, fourth Trent Dunham, and fifth was Brian James. As we see the pace car, let's see who was all involved. Oh man, Seth Cole, he's got some real damage. James Qualls was involved. Dylan Poteet involved. Oh man, Danny Wells, he's got a lot of front end damage to that 19 car. Joshua Mudd was involved, and Chris Dalton, the pole sitter. Oh man, just what I was talking about. And I don't see anyone on pit road, no. Oh man, this happened when these guys went four wide, and I think it started with James Qualls, although I'm not too sure. But oh man, Chris Darlington, that is not what he needed. He has rear damage and left side damage to that 24 car. Now this is crucial. Now if he goes to a backup car, that means he's gonna have to start at the rear of the field for the Daytona 500. So that may be a good or a bad thing, but I bet Chris Dalton is not too happy with what happened here. Let's see what happened to bring out our first caution, as we had a big accident in turns 3 and 4. And here's how we brought out our first caution. Dylan Poteet made a rookie mistake, and he should know it better. He went 4 wide, and he comes up right into James Qualls, and that makes him get into Seth Cole, and then 3 of them just bunched up. And Chris Dalton, he was just an innocent victim. Him and Joshua Mudd were involved, and I see that Danny Wells, he ran into the back of Cody Lamas, and Tim Fiegel, he was able to dive down out of the way just in time. But oh man, a 6-car accident. Oh man, there are some pretty big names here, excluding Joshua Mudd. All these drivers were in the second cup last season, so I don't know who's really to blame there. Probably either Dylan Poteet or James Qualls, but I think it's got to be the 10 car. I don't think Danny and Tim are going to be too happy with him. And here we are back at Daytona getting ready for the restart, and 3 drivers have dropped out of the race. Seth Cole, Danny Wells, and Cody Lamas. Oh man, they're gonna have to start deep in the field for the 500. James Qualls, Dylan Poteet, Joshua Mudd, and Chris Dalton, they're able to continue with damaged race cars. Now here's our top 10 as we're about to get back underway. William Duncan is the race leader. Second is Matt Corcoran. Third is Kyle Matthews. Fourth is Trent Dunham. Fifth, Brian James. Sixth is Dougie Shears. Seventh is Sean Galligan. Eighth is Rohit Vedarvu. Ninth is his teammate Jessica Shelton. And rounding out the top 10 is Dakota Hughes. As the pace car is already back on pit road, and these guys are right back underway. We got 14 laps to go to determine a winner here for the first duel. And the second duel is going to take place right after. Now we're going to have to see if that wreck has affected any of the past cars. And it looks like Joshua Mudd, he's indeed slow. It looks like he's holding up James Qualls a little bit. Chris Dalton, he's trying to keep up with the pack, but he's losing them pretty fast. He's going 172. While the rest of the pack is going 5 miles an hour faster than him. Dylan Poteet and James Qualls, they're going to have to try to work together to catch the main pack as we head back to the front now. And it looks like Matt Corcoran, he's taking the lead away. But here comes Trent Dunham and Brian James on the inside. Matt Corcoran led that lap. His fellow Toyota Dougie Shears is trying to come up behind him, but here comes Brian James in the 78. Last time we saw Brian James in the main racing circuit, it was back at the end of the Internet CRA Caterpillar ARCA Series where he won at Zinjotis. That was the last time we saw Brian James, and he he got called up to join Furniture Row, and right now he's being forced to the high side by Dakota Hughes. And look at this, the Stewart-Haas teammates are trying to work together. Jessica Shelton and Rohit Vedarvu, the 4 and the 39 car. Now Ian Dutta, and Sky Commons, the 14 and the 41, they're in the second duel. Now here come the RCR teammates as Jessica Shelton led that lap. Here comes Kyle Matthews right under P2 London. Here comes James McLeod. We haven't talked about him as he takes the third position. And oh man, Big Red. Oh man, Big Red, Matt Corcoran and Dakota Hughes. Oh man, that was big contact. And Brian James is upside down. Holy moly. That's something Seth Cole would say. And oh man, while that happened, Kyle Matthews is the leader as we now see James McLeod trying to protect second from his teammate, and I think he'll get it. Yes, he will. Oh man, coming to our second caution, Kyle Matthews is the race leader, followed by McLeod, Fiegel, Galligan, and Shelton. But oh man, Matt Corcoran, Dakota Hughes, and there's Brian James. I think we saw a contact between Trent Dunham and another driver. He got into it with someone, but we're gonna have to go back to the replays and check and see who it was. Oh man, real tough break here for more of these guys. Drivers are just going left and right. Next time by will be the halfway mark, but while these guys are taking their caution laps, let's see what happened to bring out our second caution of the day. And here's how we brought out our second caution. It turns out Trent Dunham got into the left rear quarter panel of Brian James. That sends him down into Matt Corcoran and to Dakota Hughes, and that just sends the 12 and the 78 flying. Just look at that 12 car. Oh man, there's car sex between the 12 and the 15. But the worst of it has got to be Brian James. I mean, he slid down the backstretch on his roof. As we see the 12 and the 15 sliding to a stop, but Brian James, he just continues to go on for the ride. Oh man, that looks like that there's 3 more drivers that are gonna be trying to fight to survive in this duel, as we see James Qualls, Chris Dalton, and Dylan Poteet passing them. But oh man, real tough break for Brian James after coming in contact with the one car. We're gonna have to ride on board with these guys. Okay, here we are riding on board with the Sega Chevrolet of Trent Dunham. With the 5-hour energy Toyota of Matt Corcoran. Top of the 15. How he is still able to drive away, I'm not sure. Now we were going to ride on board with the 78, but after the crash, the 78 just lost his camera entirely. So this would be the last onboard camera with the Penske Dodge of Dakota Hughes. As you can just see the 78 still on the surface sliding in the infield. And here we are back at Daytona once more, getting ready for the restart. This time, 2 guys dropped out, Brian James and Matt Corcoran. Now, shockingly enough, Dakota Hughes, who went hard into the wall, he's able to keep going. Just look at that 12 car. Oh man, he's really trying to get as many positions as he can. But with laps running out and that damaged race car, I don't think he can. But he's trying to represent for Dodge today. And speaking of Dodge, we got a couple of them in the top 10. Right now, our top 10 consists of Kyle Matthews, James McLeod, Tim Fiegel, Sean Galligan, Jessica Shelton, Zack Hamlin, William Duncan, P2 London, Rohit Vedarvu, and Trent Dunham. Pace car is back in pit road. 7 laps to go. Kyle Matthews is the leader. And oh man, James McLeod, he really got a good start. That's gonna allow Sean Galligan to get to the inside of his teammate. James McLeod has signed a contract with Pioneer, so Pioneer is going to be the main sponsorship on that number 91 when he runs it for the Daytona 500. But for right now, he's running Dodge and Mopar, and it looks like he's going to the inside of Kyle Matthews, and he's trying to bring Sean Galligan along with him. And here comes a Toyota into the top 5 now. Zack Hamlin, 56. Right now, the only surviving driver out of Michael Watcher Racing in this first duel. Their other teammate, Steven Gonzalez, he's going to be racing in the second duel as James McLeod. He'll lead that lap. And here comes Sean Galligan now into the fray. And oh man, just as soon as I say that, now Zack Hamlin's on the inside now, being pushed by William Duncan and Rohit Vedarvu. And oh man, just look at this 11-car battle right now, just to try to get on the pole for the Daytona 500. I believe some of the pack have separated. Yes, they have. There's James Qualls, Chris Dalton, and Dylan Pote, as I said, and Joshua Mudd. He's indeed slow. And Dakota Hughes, with all that damage, he would be indeed slow. And oh man, the caution's out. Oh man, something happened. We had a wreck. Oh man, something happened. I couldn't tell who was in it. But William Duncan will lead them to the line. Second is Zack Hamlin. Third is Dougie Shears. Fourth, P2 London. And fifth, shockingly, is James Qualls. And oh man, these guys are racing really hard out there. And oh man, it's Kyle Matthews. He was involved. Oh man, Kyle Matthews, he was involved, and he was the leader before the last restart just now. And he's out. Oh man, something happened to 31. I don't see damage on any. Oh man, Sean Galligan, he was involved. Sean Galligan, and it looks like James McLeod was involved too. Oh man, Daytona is not showing anybody any favors right now. What is going on here? But oh man, William Duncan is the race leader. Let's see what happened to bring out our third caution. Well, here's how to bring out our third caution. And this was right when I went to go check at the back of the pack. Kyle Matthews gets into the left rear of Sean Galligan. He comes down onto Rohit Vedarvu, gets into Dougie Shears and Trent Dunham. And then that just sends all these guys straight into the wall. Tim Fiegel and James McLeod, they get involved, but it looks like McLeod was able to drive away. And Tim Fiegel, he gives a hit to Kyle Matthews, and it looks like Sean Galligan, he drove into Trent Dunham. Oh man, Daytona is not showing anybody any favors here. I really hope that the second duel isn't this much of a wreck fest. Oh man, Daytona is not really known for wreck fests. Well, here is what is going to come to a one-lap shootout to determine the inside row of the Daytona 500. And on this final lap, we had Chris Dalton in the 24 blowing engine. He had a broken piston, but sadly, I was not able to catch it in time. So he will finish in the 15th position. And also, Kyle Matthews is out, as we saw before we checked on the replay. And oh man, our top 10 going into our final restart will be William Duncan, Zack Hamlin, Dougie Shears, P2 London, shockingly James Qualls, Rohit Vedarvu, his teammate Jessica Shelton. 8th, Dylan Poteet. 9th is James McLeod. And the top 10 is Joshua Mudd. As we have the green flag and the white flag, our Season 2 champion, William Duncan, is the man in charge right now. But he's got a rookie coming up behind him in the 56, Zack Hamlin, and Dark P2 London, our Budweiser shootout winner. He's in a good position to start up front in the Daytona 500. And here he comes along with the Stewart Haas drivers. And old man P2 London, he's really trying hard to get into the inside of 56. But oh man, the 56 just pulled a crossover move right in front of the 27 to get around William Duncan. Heading into turns 3 and 4, it looks like Zack Hamlin coming out of turn 4 with no competition. But P2 London is trying, but I don't think he can make it in time. Heading into the tribal for the final time, Zack Hamlin will win duel number 1. Zack Hamlin, the lone representative, currently running right now out of the Michael Watcher Racing stable. He will start on the pole for the Daytona 500. Since Chris Donaldson blew an engine, he has to go to a backup car, so that surrenders his pole position. So that means the 56 will start on the pole for the Daytona 500, and Chris Donaldson, he's going to start 29th. Oh man, what a difference that makes. And how about P2 London, our Budweiser shootout winner? He finishes 2nd, so he will start in 3rd place. Oh man, Daytona certainly not showing anyone any favors here. How about Jessica Shelton? She's getting a top 5. She drove like a real pro out there. She's gonna start 9th for the Daytona 500. But there's our real winner right there, Zack Hamlin in the 56. And here is your inside row for the Daytona 500. Zack Hamlin will start on the pole, P2 London 3rd, and so on and so on. William Duncan, he tried hard, but he's going to have to settle for 3rd place. He'll start in 5th. Dougie Shears, not bad for the Red Bull Racing driver. His teammate James Silverfox is going to be in the 2nd duel, so we're going to have to see what envelops there. The Stewart Haas drivers, Jessica Shelton and Rohit Vedarvu, they're going to be starting close to each other. And how about James Qualls and Dylan Poteet? They were involved in the first caution, and they still finished in the top 10. They're going to start around midfield for the 500. That's not bad considering where they should have started. And as you see the rest of the drivers on the list, Sean Gallagher and Trent Dunham, they're going to start mid-pack. Joshua Mudd got very lucky, even though his 48 was really slow. He's going to start mid-pack as well as Tim Fiegel. And Dakota Hughes, with a damaged race car, he still managed to finish up. And everybody who retired out, Chris Darlington, Kyle Matthews, Matt Corcoran, Brian James, Cody Lamas, Danny Wells, and Seth Cole, they're going to have to go to backup cars. But what's going to happen in the 2nd duel, we're going to find out momentarily, so stay tuned, everybody. Thank you for staying with us, race fans. We're about to get set for duel race number 2. Now we got more rookies in this field than duel 1. Starting on the pole right now is Levi McIntyre, and right behind him is his teammate Jackie Tang in the 77. Now on the high side of both of these guys, we got two good friends, the mayonnaise man himself, Charles Jackson, and Mr. Viagra Pills, Sean Henley, in the 25. A lot can happen here. What are we gonna see? What can Steven Gonzalez, who's gonna start in 5th, be like his Michael Waltrip Racing teammate and win this duel? We're about to find out as the green flag is out for the second duel of Daytona. Oh my God. Had a little brain fart there, but hopefully this racing will get my mind back on track. I also forgot to mention that we got a couple of hometown boys here. There's Michael Norman in the Tax Slayer number 8 out of Sega Motorsports, and here comes Dylan Young in the White Deuce here out of Penske Racing. Both of these guys are Florida boys. We had a third hometown boy, Cody Lamas. He was in the first duel, as we're about to have a lead change between teammates. Jackie Tang, he's taking it, but here comes Michael Norman. He's being pushed by Ian Dutta. Now Ian Dutta in the 14, he was in the Budweiser Shootout Last Chance qualifier, but he blew up, and oh man, these guys almost went 4 wide. But oh man, they still got to 3 wide anyway, as I was talking about Ian Dutta, as he takes the lead away from Jackie Tang. Ian Dutta, they rebuilt that 14 car from the ground up with a more powerful engine, so hopefully he doesn't have any more engine failures. He seems to be doing good right now as he's running comfortably with the lead. But oh man, now here comes Alex Ferranti in the 99. He's making it 3 wide now for second. He's being pushed by James Shelley, and here comes Cole Daly in the 88. Now Cole Daly, he started dead last in this field, but that's not stopping him from moving ahead. His other Hendrick teammate, Derek Angle, he made a gutsy move in the Buzz Shootout and didn't even wreck. So I don't know. Derek Angle, he's an inspiring rookie as we see him further back in the pack, as we now see him trying to get around Derek Snyder, and oh man, Charles Jackson! Oh, Charles! Oh man, Charles got to left rear quarter panel. Steven Gonzalez and Garrett Snyder was involved, and Dylan Thurl was involved too, and that's gonna bring out our first caution. Now let's hope these guys can make it to the line without crashing it again. I think they will. Heading up to the front, it seems like Cole Daly is gonna lead these guys. Oh man, yes he will, barely, just over Joseph Lombard. So our top 5 is Cole Daly, Joseph Lombard, Sky Commons, Ian Dutta, and Chris Washer. Now Chris Washer, I don't want to jinx the 20 car, but over the last couple of events, he's had some pretty bad luck. I mean, he did a barrel roll over his teammate in the Budweiser Shootout. I'm not gonna say nothing more because I don't want to jinx him. But right now, as we see Cole Daly as the leader, Steven Gonzalez, he's got damage to his left side and the rear of his car thanks to his fellow Toyota Charles Jackson. Let's have another look at that, shall we? And here it is once again in slow motion. Steven Gonzalez and Charles Jackson, they were both on the high side, and Charles Jackson, he just comes in contact with the 55, and that makes him slam into the right side of Garrett Snyder. And Derek Angle, he had to do a little drift to stay off the wall. Joshua Collett in the 43, he manages to stay on the low side to avoid all that. And oh man, Dylan Thurl at a Tweenix Racing, he got involved a little bit as he gives the wall another smack. But Charles Jackson, oh man, I don't think Stevie Pie is gonna be too happy with the mayonnaise man. I don't know what happened there. Maybe he got some mayonnaise stuck in his helmet and he couldn't see where he was going. But oh man, Steven Gonzalez, he's not gonna be happy after this. Here we are back at Daytona getting ready for the restart. Only one guy dropped out, and it's Steven Gonzalez. Real tough break for the Michael Waltrip Racing stables here. 2 drivers got wrecked. and one of them won. So, to each his own. Anyway, our top 10 before we go back racing is Cole Daly, Joseph Lombard, Sky Commons, his teammate Ian Dutta, Chris Washer, James Silverfox, Sean Henley, Charles Sanford, Levi McIntyre, and Jake Rogers. The rest of the top 20 are James Shelley, Michael Norman, Alex Ferranti, Jackie Tang, his teammate Dylan Young, Joshua Collard, Derek Engel, Dylan Thorough, Charles Jackson, and Garrett Snyder. Well, there are only 20 cars left, so I might as well name the whole field. But the pace car is about to get back to pit road, and Cole Daly is going to lead these guys. Green flag is back out. These guys are right back underway, and Joseph Lombard, he really got a good start off the line. And oh man, he is all over the back bumper of his former racing stable. For the first 2 seasons of the second cut, Joseph Lombard, he drove the number 24 car, but this season he decided it was time to make a change, and he jumped over to Joe Gibbs, driving the number 18. I bet he's really gonna try to show off that power once we visit Auto Club. That's his home track. And oh man, speaking of Joe Gibbs, here comes his teammate Chris Washer now on the inside. And oh man, Cole Daly throws down the block. Oh man, Cole Daly, he is not gonna give up that lead that easy. I mean, Cole Daly, he almost won the Buzz shootout, but he made his move too late. As we now see Charles Sanford, he's trying to get behind Sean Henley. He's being pushed by James Shelley as he forces the 2 Stuart Haas cars on the high side. And oh man, it looks like Sky Commons again trying to do like what Rohit Vedarvu and Jessica Shelton did in the first duel. And oh man, all these guys, they just left Joseph Lombard high to dry. He has no job to help right now. As Cole Daly, he's still hanging on to that lead, but here comes Sean Henley and Charles Sanford. And oh man, it looks like Charles Sanford's trying to make it 3 wide for the lead. Yes, he is. He's trying to make it 3 wide. And oh man, I really hope none of these guys are trying to make it 4 wide. They did, but they all settled it out just now. As we now see Charles Sanford now in command of the lead. Charles Sanford will lead this lap, but not for long, because here comes Alex Ferranti, Mr. Ferrari himself, in the 99. Driving the 99 through the middle, but right now he has no help as he just lost the lead over to Jackie Tank in the 77. And oh man, all these guys, they're just swapping positions left and right. And oh man, look at the Penske boys up here. Three of them are in the top 10. The only Penske car that was in the first duel was Dakota Hughes, and he ended up wrecking, but he still survived the finish. And oh man, they're going 4 wide back here, but they managed to settle it out back to 3 wide. Good job by all these guys. As now we see Levi McIntyre trying to bounce back. He's trying to chase down his teammate. Let's ride on board with the 22. Contact between the 8 and the 2, and oh man, there was, but they saved it. Oh man, Michael Norman and Dylan Young, they get together, but they managed to keep it going. We're well past the halfway mark now. And here's something we haven't really talked about yet. That's the 43 of Joshua Collins. He's been staying in the back for quite a while. I think he may be trying to plan his move on some later laps. He's been staying in the back all race long. And that may be strategy for the 43. Heading back up here, now we see James Silverfox, the second car out of the Red Bull Racing stable. He's being pushed by Cole Daly to the lead. Here comes Charles Sanford and Sean Henley back into the fray. And oh man, all these guys are racing hard. But James Silverfox, he will lead this lap. He's the man in charge as we now have 8 laps to go. In 8 laps, you just don't know it. As we now see Charles Sanford. Now Charles Sanford, he's going for the lead now in the 07 car. And here comes Joshua Collar. Like I said, Joshua Collar, he's been staying in the back all race long, and now he's trying to make his move. He just got in front of Michael Norman. He's trying to get help from him, but oh man, Sean Henley, he just threw down the block in front of the 43. Now he's gonna use that to get into the lead. Now remember, this is for starting well, at the moment, 4th, because right now our pole sitter, Levi McIntyre, he's still running good, depending on where he finishes. As long as he doesn't drop out, he will start 2nd for the Daytona 500. But I think they're gonna try to stop Sean Henley from trying to start as far ahead as he can. And oh man, it looks like Joshua Collins just got hung left to dry. He didn't have any drive to help for that moment. Here comes Jake Rogers in the 28 out of Yates Racing, and Joseph Lombard, he trying to come back. And look at the Penske boys, the 77, 22, and the 2. And oh man, all the Penske cars, they're really trying to stay together for this. Oh man, it just goes to show how well a team can work together in these kinds of events. And all 3 of them are they're going straight to the front, as Sean Henley, he led that last lap. And oh man, now Jackie Tank, he's making 3 wide for the lead just as soon as Jake Rogers was thinking about taking it. And just look at them, the Penske cars, they're still running together, showing off that Dodge power represented for Dodge. And oh man, oh boy, it's a 3 wide Dodge party. The 77, the 22, and the 2 going 3 wide for the lead. Oh man, all these guys are racing real hard. And as hometown boy Dylan Young, he'll take the lead. And oh man, they're catching up on a slow car. It's Garrett Snyder. He's going 170, and these guys are going 191. Dylan Young led that lap, and Ian Dutta, he's going straight for the lead. But they're about to catch Garrett Snyder. Oh man, Garrett Snyder could make or break this pack right now. Oh man, they really need a caution right now, but I don't think they'll get it, as Chris Washer is the race leader, but Sky Comets is about to challenge him for it. And oh man, they're gonna catch Garrett Snyder before the next lap. And Sky Comets, he's thinking about taking the lead now, and here comes James Silverfox and Cole Downey. And oh boy, he's gonna have to get out of the way or something, or they're gonna have to try to split the 16. I don't know. Sky Comets led that lap, and the leaders caught him. It looks like Garrett Snyder, he's gonna be stuck on the outside. But better yet, he's stuck in the middle row. And oh man, that's gonna allow the inside row to get away. James Silverfox and Michael Norman. And oh man, they're gonna have to do whatever they can to split the 16. He's holding up Cole Dally, Ian Dutta, Alex Fronte, and Jackie Tang. And oh man, Ian Dutta, that is not what he needed at all. He cannot get around from that 16 car. And Alex Fronte, I don't think he's gonna be too happy with his teammate. Alex Fronte is trying to pick a line and stay with it. And oh man, Garrett Snyder just got in front of him. Oh man, what's that about? But oh man, Ian Dutta, Alex Fronte, and Jackie Tay, they really got the short end of that stick. And oh man, some of the packs are really separated, but not really. As Michael Norman takes the lead from James Silverfox, who led that last lap. And now it looks like to be a 7-car battle, as we have 2.5 laps to go. Michael Norman is in charge right now, but he's got a bumper full of Joshua Collar, Chris Washer, and Sean Henley. Michael Norman, our second hometown boy. And oh man, the 25 is blowing up. Oh man, Sean Henley. Oh man, Sean Henley blows up. Oh man, engine problems for the 25. And I was just asked the other day, how do I get cars to blow up? But like I said, it's completely random. I do all my races live, so all of them are a complete shock. But this is not what Sean Henley needed, and he will go to a backup car for the Daytona 500. Oh man, and that car has no power, as you can see. Oh man, real tough break for the 25. And that separated these guys into a 3-car battle. Michael Norman, Chris Washer, and Joshua Collar. 3 different manufacturers and not a Ford in sight. The first Ford of this pack is actually Jake Rogers. But oh boy, it's a 3-car battle, and Chris Washer, he's gonna be the man in charge as we're coming to the white flag. Can Toyota go 2 for 2 in the duels? But here comes Joshua Collar now in the 43. I can't remember the last time the 43 has even won a second cup race. I don't think it has. But oh man, oh boy, Sky Thomas, he's trying to come into the front, but I don't think he'll have enough time as Chris Washer, he's just in charge right now in that number 20 car. Joshua Collar, he's trying to chase him down, but I don't think he can. He doesn't have anybody helping him. Michael Norman is too far away, and Chris Washer just has the speed from barrel rolling in the Bud shootout over his teammate and coming out of turn 4 into the tri-oval to win the second Gatorade Duel. Chris Washer, he will take the checkered flag. Chris Washer wins Gatorade Duel number 2, and Levi McIntyre, where did he finish? Levi McIntyre finished in the 11th position, so Levi McIntyre survived, and he will still start second place in the Daytona 500, and Chris Washer will start right behind him in 4th. Oh man, pretty good driving by these guys. Man, the first duel race was just a wreck fest, but the second duel, they actually drove like they knew what they were doing, and Chris Washer, he really needed that well-deserved win to give him momentum for the 500. And it turns out that Sean Henley had a broken camshaft. He was pursuing Michael Norman for the lead, and all of a sudden he just went up in smoke, and that's a real tough break for the 25. Now he's gonna have to start deep in the field for the 500. We better hope that there isn't a first lap wreck like there was in the Budweiser LCQ. As we see the cars going into their pit stalls, and oh man, Joshua Collar, you got to give it up for him. He bided his time, and he's gonna start 6th in the Daytona 500. Real good starting position for Petty Enterprises. Michael Norman, the hometown boy, ends up 3rd. The other hometown boy, Dylan Young, he ends up 5th, so he's gonna start 12th in the Daytona 500. Oh man, I still have to figure out the starting grid for this, but the starting grid for the Daytona 500 will be shown right after this video, so stay tuned for that. But oh man, this duel may have not been as eventful as the first one, but it still gave us good racing. But Garrett Snyder really made the difference on who the winner could have been. Well, that's it for the Gatorade Duels. The next time we see you at Daytona, it'll be the official first race of the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series season, the Daytona 500. So stay tuned for that. Congratulations once again to Zack Hamlin and Chris Washer. Toyota goes 2 for 2 in the Gatorade Duels. And we will see you for the Daytona 500.